A recorded video? Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to point some out here. So this is medication for my dog. $167 for this stuff. I'm literally paying $167 to prolong my animal's life. You know, and I was sitting there at the vet's office. I was sitting there at the vet's office. Let me fix that here. I don't have a stand in here, sorry. Okay, so let me start over. I was literally standing there at my vet's office, and I was looking at all the prescription diet food. And I've got it. Hills, the Hills, they make a good product. We use it, right? Let me tell you what some of their stuff. You have digestive care, weight loss, food sensitivities, metabolic, urgent care, derm complete, food sensitivities, multi-benefit, digestive care, urinary care, glucose support, because our animals have diabetes, liver care. You have all these different, kidney care, and it makes you think. So what do we do with our animals? Well, we feed them and love them, and we give them this primarily grain-fed diet. This dog or cat food that we don't know where it comes from. We don't know how it's made, but we blindly just buy a bag and think, okay, hope they like this, right? And it's been proven that animals that have no human interaction whatsoever never have a weight problem. Imagine that. They never, animals get disease, don't get me wrong. But the same diseases that are plaguing our animals is plaguing humans. All the things that I just listed, I could be listing people in this, right? All of these, right? And so when you look at your animal's life, they're born, you nurse them as kittens or puppies, and then they get older, and then you love them for, 8 to 10, 12 years if you're lucky. And then they start needing medication because they either have diabetes, or they got, or they're blind, or they got hip dysplasia, or, they're overweight. One time I was at a truck stop and I saw this driver walking his Chihuahua, and I swear that thing was this big around. Its legs were like that long. And the driver didn't look too long for this world either. But, you have to wonder, do you overfeed your animals, or is it the diet that they're eating? And if you try to go like no grain, you have to add all these supplements that supposedly the animal needs. And it just kind of makes you think, isn't it that kind of way with the human American diet? From ages, from when you're born to about when you're 10, 12, maybe 15 years old, you're fine. But then metabolically and hormonally, you become imbalanced. And then you start having weight gain and type 2 diabetes. And, and as you get older, they call it old age. They call it aging. Well, your animal's old, so that's why it's developed diabetes. Or, you're getting older. That's why you have arthritis. But when you look at the structure of how the system works when it comes to animals, you feed them, and then you got to medicate them, and then eventually they'll either die or you got to put them down because they're suffering as they get older, just like humans do. And it takes medication. It takes special diets. It takes bunches of vet visits to keep your animal alive. Isn't it that way with humans? I mean, look at the profit earnings of all the pharmaceutical companies in the country, in the world. You would think that, I don't know, it's kind of like cars, right? We can't build cars to last because we need you to keep coming back for more. We need you to keep buying more cars, whether you need it or not. You know, use it while the warranty is still good, and then find yourself, another car. And Goldman Sachs, there's this article that talked about how Goldman Sachs warned the company, I'd have to look up the name, that developed a hepatitis C cure, and said, hey, you're going to have trouble getting funding later, because this ain't a great business model to cure your patients. They literally said that. Dr. Baker, I think, mentioned it. It's big business. Big pharma. They benefit from me playing off my emotions to make sure that I can keep my dog alive because he's got congestive heart issues. Just like, people. It's the pharmaceuticals that keep you alive. Makes you think of what they're doing to our food. I mean, go in the health aisle at your local Walmart and see all the diabetic, all the gluten-free, and all these different things that are still made in the lab. Meanwhile, if you want to eat a steak and some broccoli, that's a no-no. That's weird. You got to have carbs. You got to have grains to survive. No, you don't. It's blatantly obvious more with the animals, but we are just the cash cows, as I've talked about before. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. And that's what this new series is going to be. This is going to be a series I'm going to do on the smaller channel. It's going to be called Things That Make You Go, I'm not declaring anything. I'm just asking a question that makes you go, By the way, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up. I want to grow this channel because these are the things that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the things outside of trucking on this channel because there's a lot of thoughts that I have about life in general. It could be about music. It could be about health. It could be about, whatever. Anything that doesn't get me shadow banned, I hope. But you never know with the way the world's going today. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Make sure you keep up on my community page because there's a lot of stuff I follow on Twitter that's health related that I will post there. And it's not going to be all health, man. We're going to do some music here. We're going to do some other things. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Peace.